Hey fellas and lovely viewers, it's Storm. And this video will be an end of year word vomit and I won't apologize about it. Let me take you along as my creator draws some visual novel sprites. You may not see my face much. One, for ease of editing, and two, because one of my good friends, Iska the Snail, is working on my VTuber model. How exciting! And for this art trade, my creator drew her banner. Ooh, how pretty. Please write your compliments below. Thank you. You may be wondering what these sprites are for. It's a surprise! If I remember well, I'm not watching the speed paint as I'm recording this, but I think the characters on screen in order will be Juniper, Victor, Mark, Francesca, and Jean. But enough about me, despite how much I love talking about myself. What's new? What's up? How y'all doing? My creator hasn't been feeling fly like a G6, but we're hanging in there. If he's not doing okay for some reason, I'm not either. But friendship really helps. My little pony was right. Friendship is magic. Oh, speaking of friendship, have you guys played Lonely Wolf Treat? It's adorable. I haven't finished it, but I would recognize Nom Nom Nami's game style anywhere. It's about a wolf in a town full of rabbits, and as you may know, rabbits are my favorite animals, and I have one of my own. The rabbits are all afraid of her, so she can't make any friends until one little bunny makes her curry. The main characters are Treat, the introverted wolf, Mochi, the social bunny, literally, and Moxie, the mischievous fox. And as you may have noticed, this game is adorable. The art style is very pretty and looks very soft, and Kemono Mimi's own my heart. Nom Nom Nami knows their aesthetics, and the palette of this game is very calming and cute, with its wintry hues and pinks. The bunny village is also adorable, and I may be biased, but it looks like a very quaint town, and despite the threat of carnivores, it looks like a relaxing place like you would see in games like Stardew Valley or Fields of Mistral. My favorite part is the pink grocery store. It's very Barbie-core. It's even more impressive to know that Lonely Wolf Treat was made in 3 weeks, and it was the creator's first time using RPG Maker, and the first time they also made the music. I really do not have anything bad to say about this game. And if it is, it's because I'm being nitpicky, as the story of anthropomorphic herbivores and carnivores not being able to be friends is a story we have seen time and time again. I do think this game is the only one that managed to make me feel something on both sides. You understand the rabbit's point of view, as, of course, nobody wants to be eaten. And you understand Treat's point of view, as someone who just wants to live their life and cause no harm. That actually makes me think of that Intermarché advertisement. Anyway, associating this game to an allegory for something isn't going to do it justice, either to the game or very real issues. However, this would be a great game to explain discrimination when you don't have the words for it. With the rabbits being mean to Treat, the foxes treating the rabbits like mere prey, and the fox-wolf rivalry. The game is short, but it isn't complete. I haven't played the rest of the chapters yet, as I do not own the complete series. But I do predict that Treat and Mochi will also have some issues with every species, because of their friendship and or romance. Yes, I'm sure there's a romance. Nami makes queer games and I'm here for the lesbian supremacy. But overall, I'm very excited to play the complete series and more games by Nami in the near future. I'm also a sucker for winter-themed games. Winter is my favorite season as I don't run the risk of overheating, and winter means winter holidays. I hope you had nice holidays. No matter if you celebrate something or not, I only celebrate New Year. My creator is unfortunately employed and has to work on Christmas and New Year, but once again, friendship is magic and they work with some of their close friends, so that sometimes works out nicely. What other short games have I played? Short independent games, I mean. I played Dungeons and Don't Do It. It's a visual novel by Pacermist and is described as a Dungeons and Dragons parody or satire, namely about how players always find a way to do something stupid and mess up the DM's world. For those who do not know what Dungeons & Dragons is, it is a tabletop role-playing game created by Gary Gygax and Dave Arneson in 1974. Like most tabletop role-playing games, the story and often the world is set up by a game or dungeon master, which I will call GM or DM, and players live and create adventures in it. D&D is now owned by Wizards of the Coast, but we don't talk about them here. But this isn't the point. Dungeons & Don't Do It is. From the get-go, the title and all, it is obvious that this is not a game to be taken seriously, and it is said directly on their itch.io page. Open quote, "While it is possible to play through this game seriously, it isn't the point. There are plenty of silly options and random generated results to go with the theme and lead your character through a wacky adventure. Beware of the RNG though, some options are much more difficult to pass than others." You play as Rose, though you could rename her, which is what I did, as the first thing you learn about the main character is that she's a weeb. No, not a high school girl, she's just a cosplayer. Her character is an elf rogue, and you are able to name it as well. I watched a lot of Game Grumps recently, so Jellybingus it is. I don't know what the canon name is. Grace is her girlfriend, and her character is a human mage called Yuli. Emily is their friend who has a short adventure ready to get them started with D&D and his gameplay and dice rolls. She is their dungeon master, so she is in charge of the world, story, and non-player characters. Admittedly, we don't know much about the players as their characters are the star of the show here, or well, the stars of the game. First things first, I thought it was really fun to play. I love tabletop role-playing games and I love parody games, so this sounded like a match made in heaven. The dialogue when they are playing could sound like a dialogue I could hear players having with the DM or with each other, both in character and out of character. The short story is believable enough for a homebrew, a small town with a lot of issues in and around it, demons and spirits and ninjas and forest spirits, cliche misuses of the Japanese language. It could sound like something a weeaboo teenager would create, and I absolutely love it. It's realistic enough to be a real homebrew D&D module, but fun enough not to be taken as seriously. Wait, I also used the word homebrew a lot. It basically means Dungeons & Dragons content that is not official and has not been created by Gary Gygax or Wizards of the Coast. Races, classes, settings, and modules can be homebrewed. The sprites are made by various artists, and they're all beautiful. Each non-playable character sprite is drawn in a different style, which I find really charming and adds to the whole friends playing together and it is in serious vibe of the whole game. Kudos to everyone who contributed directly or indirectly. Some of these sprites are genuinely gorgeous. I mean, look at her, look at them, look at him, and look at this lady who slays. Her outfit is so pretty and I would love to cosplay her one day.
She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment.
The music usually fits well with the scene and is very pleasing to listen to. I'm not the best at describing sounds and music, but it nicely complements the setting. Also, nice Fable reference. However, just like every game, it's not perfect, and I have noticed a few issues with it. Emily is a questionable DM. To get players into D&D, you should let them pick classes and races they like, as long as it fits into your world building. If they do not know the proper terminology, ask them what kind of archetype they want to be. Do they want to brute force their way into combat? Do they want to be sneaky and quick? Do they want to make it rain fireballs? You can help them pick a playstyle and a class or race that suits them, and their characters' names and lore. Then do the sheets yourself, and provide a cheat sheet with what each action does. She is allowed to not explain some choices she made for her homebrew story, but I'm sorry, what are these fuck-ass quotes? I don't have to explain myself, I'm God. If you kill him right now, I'll push you both off the cliff and end the story. If this isn't used as a joke, that is a quote you would hear a DM nightmare story about on Reddit. This is not it. Does Emily even want her friends to be interested in D&D with that sort of behavior? And when Rose protests, she just shuts it down. That's an absolute no. Also, part of what makes D&D fun is to roll shiny plastic rocks. If she doesn't let them roll their saving checks, she does it herself? That's no fun. I get it for the purpose of making the game and code more simple, but it would really annoy me as a player and a dungeon master. However, as Uncle Iroh would say, even a broken clock is right twice a day, and she is right about one thing. Having the game rely on imagination is far different from destroying the story for kicks. My creator, Rain, well, he has been DMing for quite a while, and playing with people who do not care about your game and story is not fun. D&D is not players versus DM, it's a collaborative effort in-game. You need to have the right people for your DMing style, and the right DM for your playstyle, and as per everything, communication is key. But this is just becoming a rant on Emily, so let's swiftly move on. I did notice a few glitches while I played it, notably one when talking to the merchant. You'll know when you get there, but the dev is actively working on fixing glitches and issues according to comments and devlogs. The game is stupid in all the best ways. It's for weebs, it's for fun. It's a nice short adventure. There's another game in this vibe called Dungeons and Lesbians that I haven't played it yet, but it's on my lists. Subscribe if you would like to hear my thoughts about this one. Pacer Mist is working on another game called Let I'm not too sure how to pronounce it. It's a high school romance centered around dealing with amnesia. Haven't played it yet, but the demo is out. I'm very curious to try it out. What else? I also tried out Flying Lessons by Sinocoria. I actually have a video about Sinocoria. Make sure to watch it. It's a very short story about a young fairy learning to fly. The game features Lotus, who is passing all of her classes except flying. She doesn't know how to. So she has to either ask the top student, Piali. I'm also going to absolutely butcher this character's name. I'll just call him Piali. Or her childhood friend, Griff, to help her out and pass her grade. There is also an ending where she just decides not to take the class. The art style is cute, and the chibis are a staple of Sinocoria games, as many scenes are chibified in their Holiday Otome series. Once again, watch the video. I like the design of these fairies. They're not groundbreaking, but they work well. Piali is probably based on a winged unicorn, giving his color palette and wings and horn. Maybe that's where his name comes from? P from Pegasus and El, as I pronounced Ailey, as in wing in French? Who knows? Griff is definitely based on a griffin with his animal legs and sandy coloring. Lotus is obviously based on a lotus flower with her petal-like wings and green dress. The UI looks great and it definitely goes with the magical fairy theme, but I'm not a big fan of the text box. I think it's too cluttered as the font size is too big. Once again, the game is very short, but I think they made it to test out a mechanic, as they did with Tomato Soup for the Heart, another one of their short games made to test the mechanic used in Valentine Otome. What I do like is that these characters appear in the Holiday Otome series as game merchandise, which means that Flying Lessons is a game in the Holiday Otome canon. I love when indie games have nods to their other projects like that. It doesn't have the same flavor when, let's say, companies like Electronic Arts do it. I should have a video that is just a rant about the gaming industry one day. I also played Magic Mirror Hall. It was a visual novel made for the Yuri Game Jam in 2018 by The Apothecary, and oh my god, I love it so much, it's so beautiful. It is described as a game about an established relationship from an outsider's perspective. Running a magical apothecary on your own isn't easy, especially when your friend's relationship drama suddenly becomes your problem. Play as Alex as they try to figure out how to fix Malinder's magical malady, while assuaging Sol's anxiety about her ailing girlfriend. I was so happy when I saw that this game had character profiles. I love when a game has character information like that, even if it adds nothing to the story. I just like to know more about my Blorbos, like yes, tell me that Marisol dislikes olives, tell me that Malinder has a master's degree and likes bouldering, and tell me that Alex likes old school anime. Me too, babe. You play as my baby girl, I mean my little guy, I mean Venjing, I mean Alex Leong, who works as a shop/apothecary owner. Not only must they help Malinder with some weird ghost disease, they must also serve as a couple therapist for her and their best friend, and Malinder's girlfriend, Marisol, who is also just nicknamed Sol. I think I said this for every game here, but graphically it's lovely. The UI design fits the theme perfectly, being both modern and sleek, but also incorporating traditional-looking East Asian patterns and designs. The character models breathe personality, and you can directly see what kind of person each character is just by looking at them. I also like art styles where they use these grainy pencil-like brushes. It adds a nice texture to digital art. Also, Auntie's design is adorable. I want her to be my mom. She looks like such a kind middle-aged lady. The backgrounds are also fantastic. This sketchy, semi-line style may not be everyone's cup of tea, but it definitely is mine. My issue here is that the world building is so interesting with spells and magic and ghost diseases and all, and the writing is great. It's fun when it needs to be fun. It's sad when it needs to be sad. You just feel it when the characters are frustrated, relieved, awkward, but the game is so short. I know it was made for a game jam, and game jams are very, very, very hard. I have a video about that, and my creator is planning on joining NaNoWriMo this year. Still, for a project that was finished in a short amount of time, it makes me want to weave my pixels into the background and live in Alex's apothecary forever. I doubt it will happen, but I hope they will do more with these characters in the near or distant future. Also, Marisol being nicknamed Red Bull is way too relatable, although I'm more of a monster person myself. Not sponsored. They really should though. There is also a PDF booklet of 100 pages of behind the scenes, extra character and story information, and bonus art for $5 that I absolutely want to read. Bahrain, my creator, is a fresh college graduate with 83 cents to his bank account, so it won't be for now. I know that Shed, once again not sure how you pronounce that, but they're a person on the team at the Apothecary. They have worked on other games. I should definitely play some that are in their catalog, as I really like their style. They made one for a charity for Planned Parenthood and a Puerto Rican relief organization. It's called Love on the Peacock Express. I've yet to play it, but I'm excited to get to it. Well, there probably won't be more videos until 2026, and I think I've yapped enough. What have you played in 2025? I don't want to showcase any big budget game here, but I'm open to hearing about any game. As I said at the start, this was just word vomit, but hey, I wanted to close off 2025 with at least one video. So thank you so much for watching up to here. I'll see you around the internet, fellas. Have the loveliest of lovely New Year Eves.